ATMs.
So can I just ask why the Mindaroo Foundation is part of the CDC Technology Working Group?
That's arose out of the involvement of Mr. Forrest in the original report calling for a cashless debit card that was undertaken back in, I think, 2014-15. He, you will remember, was a strong advocate and so has continued to have interest in this work and has asked the Mindaroo Foundation to continue engaging with this piece of work.
And who is the Mindaroo representative?
I'm not aware. I don't know if my colleague, Ms. McCarthy, knows who the Mindaroo representative is.
Yep. I'll just find that. Bruce Mansfield.
So what's Mindaroo's expertise, though, in the product level blocking technology?
They've previously undertaken scoping work. I believe they released a report a few years ago about this issue. I might see if Ms. McCarthy has more detail on that. Or...
I don't have any more information on that, but yes, they did release a report a few years ago.
The other thing, Senator McCarthy, that may be of interest is Mr. Mansfield used to work for FPOS, so has, obviously a very, very good understanding and expertise in the understanding of the interface that FPOS provides in our financial and banking and transaction system in Australia.
So would you consider that Mr. Mansfield's expertise is also expertise in retail, or just
well, as I said, Mr. Mansfield worked for FPOS, and the product level blocking development is very much around making sure that the interface between FPOS and the store and FPOS and the customer is interfaced in such a way as that it's a seamless experience, and so he would be definitely somebody with a huge amount of expertise in this area.
So what is Mindaroo's expertise as a financial institution to be on this technology working group? You've given me the CV of Mr. Mansfield, but what about the actual Mindaroo organisation?
As I said, they have previously undertaken research work on this matter and I believe have published a report in the past.
Okay, do you want to just give us the date of the publication of that report?
I'll take that on notice, Senator.
Thank you. What is the CDC Technology Working Group's line of reporting to the Minister?
They report to the department, Senator.
And what technology solutions have been put forward by the group? What CDC enhancements have been put forward?
Senator, that is a very big question and a very detailed question. I don't know if anybody is here that can take you through the technological explanation around how product level blocking works. I'm not sure if anybody is here. It's also a very difficult concept to get your head around without actually a presentation, but somebody...
So essentially they have been discussing, I guess, the challenges and solutions in implementation of product level blocking. In order to implement product level blocking, it involves changes to bank systems, FPOS systems and point of sale systems, and so that group works through issues, challenges that arise in the development of that technology and the implementation of that technology, and so helps the department understand the state of play more generally in the payment sector, and any kind of system-wide issues that we need to be taking into account as we're progressing the product level blocking project. I don't know if Mr. Bonham has...
That's actually not the question I asked, though, Ms. Heffron-Webb. If you don't know, please just take the question on notice. I'm asking what technology solutions have been put forward by the group. The Minister said the line of reporting is not to her, it's to you, the department. If you could take that question on notice, please.
I mean, Senator, one of the things that I'm more than happy to offer is to actually provide you with a briefing around how product level blocking actually works and how it uses, the main highway that is Australia's transaction banking system. It's absolutely fascinating. I think to try and provide that in a Word document would be extremely difficult. But if you would like a briefing on it, I'm be happy to arrange one for you.
Thank you, Minister. There would be reports provided to the department. I mean, please share those reports from the Technology Working Group. Can I just go to the next question? In response to a question on notices at 30th of September 2020, $50,818.23 had been paid to cashless debit card account holders in interest. This was funded by the Department of Social Services. Why does DSS pay interest on the Indue accounts of CDC card holders? And will this be the case if other financial institutions come on board? And what's the current figure for interest paid by DSS to CDC account holders?
Thank you, Senator. Total value paid of interest paid up to 24th of September 2021 is $95,213.
That's this year?
I think we only commenced paying interest. We commenced on 1 July 2020, so it's since 1 July 2020.
95,000? It's 95,000 or 995,000?
95,213 dollars.
So why does DSS pay interest on the Indue accounts of CDC card holders?
Senator, I'm sort of a little bit of a loss. You don't want us to pay interest on people's
I'm just
accounts?
asking. I'm asking you why.
Well, because it's a normal practice to do so. And in fact, the interest rate on the CDC for at call is actually, it's just at the moment above what somebody would be able to receive as an interest payment on any other at call account that they would have with any other bank.
So will it be the case for other financial institutions who come on board?
Yes, that's right. Interest will be paid on all CDC accounts.
And how much interest does Indue earn on CDC accounts?
It earns no interest on the CDC accounts.
So what's the department doing to monitor for gendered impacts of the CDC?
So, Senator, we collect data on the client, the participants of the CDC. We undertake evaluation, as I think I spoke about earlier. So we are conscious of the gender distribution of the participant group, and any issues that kind of arise in terms of issues that particularly affect women that are raised with us, we address, or we work with communities to understand more and see what support services might be required. I'm not sure what gendered impacts exactly you're talking about, though.
Well, what are the issues you're talking about that affect women? Are we talking about the questions that were raised by Senator McAllister?
No, I mean, we receive a lot of feedback from women about the kind of the financial control and the value that they place on the financial control that they have due to implementation of the cashless debit card. I think that's reflected in the evaluation. That I think women were more likely to value the cashless debit card. So those are the types of impacts we receive. I'm just not sure if there's other matters you wanted me to discuss.
No, this was part of your anticipation prior to the CDC commencing, so I was interested to know what work had been done in that area. You know, you've raised some of those issues there. I'd like to go to women's safety, and I am conscious that some of those issues were raised by Senator McAllister. But what processes are in place for ensuring that women seeking exemption or exit from the CDC program on the grounds of domestic violence are offered Centrelink social work support?
So Centrelink social work support is provided in all cases of women impacted by domestic violence to help them navigate the situation, apply for relevant payments, etc. Women on the CDC would also receive that support, and they would be informed about exemption processes or exit processes in the course of that support.
So do Services Australia remote servicing teams include social workers?
It's a question for Services Australia. Sorry, I don't know whether they do in all cases.
So what arrangements has the department made for access to legal help for CDC participants by gender, by region, in which the CDC is operating?
There's been no additional legal support provided, specifically related to the cashless debit card.
Has the department engaged women's legal services, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander family violence prevention legal services, the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander legal services and legal aid commissions in tailored arrangements to ensure access to community legal education, legal advice, legal assistance, including representation for CDC participants by gender?
So we haven't had an engagement with those. I think you listed a number of services specifically around their legal services you listed. We haven't had an engagement with them specifically around cashless debit card. We have engaged with those service sectors in the course of our broader work on women's safety, and of course the Department of Attorney General has extensive engagement with the women's legal services, Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander legal services, etc.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
Senator, I would just like to clarify my earlier response in relation to the interest. Interest was commenced to be paid on 1 July 2020, but it was backdated to 1 July 2019.
Thank you.